Hey there guys, it's the Pinhead, and I'm back with another video here where I'm gonna talk about the Resident Evil movie series. Not a huge fan of the series. Saw the first one in the theater and I just wanted the whole series, and a lot of these I got really cheap, so why not? I'm a huge fan of the video games, so just want to kind of talk about these. Here I have the whole series, like I said. The first one, Resident Evil, with Milla Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez. The movie is not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great either. I don't think. It's very disappointing. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, like I said, of the games, and they didn't even use like any characters in this movie. And it's funny because in the special features, Paul Anderson, who directed the original Mortal Kombat, he says in this that he's a fan of the game Resident Evil, and he wanted to stay true to the game. Well, that's a big lie, because there's nothing in this movie that resembles the game at all, except for, like, okay, he used the mansion a little bit, and then he used the underground facility, which is, you know, at the last part of the Resident Evil game, the underground facility. They didn't even use the mansion that much. It was hardly even in the film. I mean, yeah, there was some cool zombie stuff in this, but it was more like an action movie and like a martial arts movie. Like I said, Mortal Kombat. Milla Jovovich does a roundhouse kick jumping off the wall and kicking a dog. Like in Mortal Kombat when Liu Kang does a roundhouse kick off the wall and kicks the enemy. It's the same thing. Just a disappointment. I don't know. It is what it is. Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second in the series. There you got Milla Jovovich again. This one kind of takes place during Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the game, because you got Nemesis, there he is right there, and you got Jill Valentine and Carlos, and they were in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the game. And it's pretty simple. You know, Raccoon City is overrun by zombies. It takes place like right after the first one, and they're overrunning the streets, and you know, Jill Valentine and Carlos are you know, killing zombies here and there with Milla Jovovich, and then, you know, Nemesis is chasing them. It's just, that's basically what it is. I didn't think this movie was that bad. I thought it was okay. I mean, at least it had some Resident Evil characters, so. Resident Evil Extinction. This is kind of a darker film. It's like all, you know, gritty and like in the desert. The thing I will say about this film that I like is the zombie stuff. I thought they had some really cool zombie things in this, and the crows were pretty cool. But it's weird, like Alice is different. Like Milla Jovovich is different in this film. Like she has like these powers that you discover, these really rare, weird powers, and we're introduced to Claire Redfield in this, and you know, she didn't show up until the second game, played by Ali Larter. I don't know, she was okay. There's nothing really big about the characters. The characters are just there, so they don't really go into too deep with the characterization. So I mean, you have Alice, Milla Jovovich kicking ass. That's all you pretty much have. So then we get into these. God, I absolutely hated this movie. I got this for like $5. I just said, why not have it in my collection? But this movie is atrocious in my opinion. You got newcomer Chris Redfield, and he's found in this prison, and he doesn't do a damn thing in this movie. He's such a boring character. He gets reunited with Claire Redfield, and they don't even seem happy about it. Like, they're just like, oh hey, like that's all it is. You got Claire Redfield running against this 10-foot tall motherfucker with an axe. If that were me, I'd be running the other way. I'm a guy, and she's a girl. She must have bigger balls than me. She's running right towards him. And they do that slow motion bullshit. just, it's just getting old. I mean, there was some cool zombie stuff, and they kind of go like with the Resident Evil 5 thing, like with the zombies that have that parasite that comes out of their head. The movie was just, I hated the ending to this too, and a lot of people did. Not the best one. Then we get to the last one here, Resident Evil Retribution, starring Mila Jovovich, of course. This one introduces some new characters. You got Ada Wong, Barry Burton from the very first Resident Evil. He just now appears in this. And you got Leon Kennedy in this one, as well as, Jill Valentine. It's weird. You have Resident Evil 2 characters mixed with Resident Evil 1 characters, Barry Burton. Like I said, the characters are just blah. Like, they're just there. There's nothing interesting about the characters. I know if you've played the games, you don't need to see how the characters develop because we already know. But it'd be interesting to see some backstory about them. I mean, hell, even, make it their own or something. Make it interesting. The first 10 to 15 minutes of this film was great. It almost seemed like a Dawn of the Dead thing, like when she's in the house. I really liked that part, but other than that, it was just like Afterlife. But I mean, it was better than Afterlife in my opinion. But the Resident Evil series, I think I wouldn't mind if they were remade into like a survival horror genre, like a real, let's go for it kind of zombie films, and try to stay true to the game too, but not go too far. I just think it'd be so cool to have the very first Resident Evil in the mansion and just have some really cool scenes, like, it's storming outside and like you're in the old dining room, there's zombies everywhere and you try to hide and there's other creatures and shit. I just think it would be that would be awesome. I just think it needs to be remade. That's just my opinion. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm so against remakes, a lot of them anyway. But the series is just disappointing. It's just too fake for me. I would rather play the video games. I would rather pop in the first Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, and play those. Even Resident Evil 4. I love the video games, and I'll do a video on that. I'll show you guys my my Resident Evil games collection. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not all that positive, but I just wanted to give you my honest opinions on these Resident Evil movies and show you my collection here. So anyway, until next time, this is the Pinhead. See ya.